Guys, remember, there's no shortcuts in Shopify. If you build that, you might make money in the future, but once the fad that you're banking off of stops being relevant in pop culture or in social media or wherever, well, you're gonna get fucked and you're gonna lose a lot of money and you're gonna lose a lot of time that you invested in that Shopify store. Hey, what is going on, Freezies? So today I'm gonna be answering the age-old question of whether or not you should start a niche store or whether or not you should start a general store for your first store when starting your Shopify dropshipping business. Now, this is such an obvious question and, rightfully so. You wanna know which one is gonna be more profitable for you, which one's gonna have the least amount of risk. And, I don't blame any of you guys for asking these questions. So what I'm gonna do is go through a completely objective pros and cons list for both and then tell you guys what I think at the end of the video. So guys, without talking too much before, I just want to mention one thing. I am actually doing a one-on-one free mentorship giveaway to thank you guys for 100 subscribers. So thank you for that. And all you have to do is just click on the I that's going to show up right now and you can check out what that video is all about and how to enter that contest, guys. It's so exciting. I'm so excited to start working with one of you guys on Amazon FBA or Shopify. It's completely your choice. I'm going to be mentoring you in either or. All you got to do is click that I, like I said earlier, and you can enter the contest from that video. Okay. So let's start off with talking about the regular store, its pros and its cons. So first and foremost, obviously, when you have a regular store, a normal store, you have so many products to choose and you have so many products to test. So what do I mean is, if this advertisement doesn't work, then you try another one or you try another one. You keep going until you find a product that actually does end up selling. So this gives you a lot of leeway and a lot of testing room to find that really, really successful product. Because what I want to warn you guys about is that when you're dropshipping, you're going to realize that even though your store might have 15 or 20 products, really only 3 or 4 are going to be making you a lot of money. So Shopify is a lot of testing. And when you have a general store, you're allowed to test so many different products, from microphones to, dog toys or really whatever you want. And if you choose a general enough store name, then really you can fit really anything you want into it. And that's the great thing about the general store. This also gives huge variety for people to choose from. So for example, if you click on my advertisement for my cups, you might go on my website and say, no, I'm not interested in cups. But in the related search terms, there's also penis enlargement pills, okay? So you click on those and you're like, I'm so interested in that, I have a tiny dick. So you go over there and you buy that. So because of the general store and the general idea, you walk in, you say, I don't need this, but I do need that. So it's kind of like local superstore where you go in, you go, I don't need this, but I'm gonna get a new toaster, right? I don't need any groceries, but I'm gonna get a new toaster, right? When you do have that large variety of products, you do have that wide variety of people coming to your store who are gonna be buying maybe one thing or another. So in terms of the pros, those are really it for the general store. You have a ton of products to test, so you can keep testing and testing and testing, and you also have a wide variety of products to sell people when they're going into your store. And one more thing that I totally forgot is that if your niche fails, you don't have to do a complete 360, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but basically when you're in a niche store, you have to do a complete 360 when you realize I've tested almost all the products, none of them are selling, there's nothing I can do. So you basically have to do a 360, find another niche and figure it out from there. So the cons. Again, like I said in my last video where I talk about Shopify and the strategy that we're gonna be using in my series, which you can click right here to check it out on that I. Basically what I talk about is that when you're doing a Shopify store, you're gonna be using Facebook traffic and paid traffic, mostly purchasing or to be getting traffic to your store. So your goal here is to find a target market that's gonna be high converting and exactly what you're looking for. So for example, if you're selling cups, you're probably gonna want people who like cups, right? Not people who like sports, just for example, okay, a horrible example, but hopefully you guys get the idea there. And when you have a general store, it's really, really hard to target because, just because they like this, are they actually going to be buying this because of those likes or because of those likes? And it's hard to differentiate really what are the main factors or what are their main interests that are causing them to buy versus not to buy. So again, I kind of went to this point, but it's hard to determine which people are actually buying and for what reason and for what interest they're buying. So because of this, your cost per click is probably going to be a lot higher. So because you're going to be advertising to such a general public in the beginning, you're going to be having a high cost per click, meaning people are usually not doing anything when they get there. You're not targeting exact people that you want. It's hard to be specific because you have such a general store, and that makes it definitely more difficult in the short term, okay? And finally, because it's such a general store, if somebody comes in to buy a mic but you're also selling cups, well, it's difficult to cross-sell or to upsell people on a mic and then sell them a cup because they wanted the mic, but why would they ever want a cup? Whereas if you had a niche store, you sold a mic and then you had that static fur ball cover on top of it, well then, you can definitely more easily upsell somebody on something like that. So your actual value per customer is definitely not as high, because unless you are strategically putting in products in every kind of, unless you have like a general store with a bunch of niches, well then it's going to be hard to cross-sell and to upsell people on different products, because your store is really just going to be all over the place, always testing, right? Let's talk about the niche store. So the first pro of a niche store is that it's so much more professional. So a niche store offers a lot more professionalism. When you come on, everything is very targeted around, let's say microphones and camera accessories. So when you come on, you definitely feel like, oh, this store knows what they're talking about. And a huge part about Shopify is building that psychological trust with your customer. So if you do have all those pictures and all that like camera-centric theme and all that kind of stuff, well then people are gonna be more likely to buy from you rather than trying to go on AliExpress and finding it themselves. So when you're charging something for $20, but it actually only costs you $3, well, people are gonna be more likely to buy it because, oh, clearly these people know what they're talking about. So second of all, because it's so niche, you actually know what kind of people are buying your product. So if I know that people who like cameras and people who like videography are buying from my store, well, then I can easily target them. So I know what kinds of people are buying from my store exactly, because first of all, it's very niche, so I know that people who like certain things are very similar. So for something as niche as like camera equipment, well, I know it's a niche category and I know that I can easily target people in that niche category. So it's gonna bring down my cost of advertising, it's gonna bring up my conversion, and it's definitely gonna be a lot cheaper in the long run once I find that exact targeting group which I make a lookalike audience with and that I can actually be successful with. As opposed to the general store, like I said, because the products are so interrelated, you're actually gonna be able to cross-sell and upsell people a lot more easily. So with that camera example, it's gonna be a lot easier for me to offer them that static cover thing and a microphone as opposed to a microphone and, for example, a cup, like I said. Right? They're completely unrelated, but when they are related, it's a lot easier. So I can actually, provide a lot more value to that customer when I'm providing that upsell or that cross-sell, and he's gonna be a lot more likely to buy it, which means that his 10-cent click towards, my free plus shipping offer or whatever offer that I'm offering originally is gonna now be a lot more valuable to me. So it went from being like a $7 profit margin to like a $15 profit margin. And it's all still from that one click because I just provided that person with so much value. And that's why the niche store is great. And the last pro of the niche store is that you're actually gonna be able to build a really great email following, social media following, because these people are genuinely interested in what you're selling, as opposed to the general store where just random shit pops up on Instagram all the time, cup one day, camera the other, and a fridge the next. So, you're not gonna get as high engagement and your followers are probably just gonna get annoyed of seeing shit that they don't care about. Whereas if I'm posting camera stuff, cool videos, oh, this is shot on this camera, blah, 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 well then that person is gonna be a lot more interested and it's gonna be definitely be more likely to, give engagement on my likes and provide more social proof for other people who are coming on my site. And because I have his email, because he's interested in my topic, whenever I send my weekly newsletter, my daily newsletter, or whatever I'm gonna be sending, or my coupons, or my new product offerings, well, he's definitely gonna be more likely to buy it, especially if he had a good experience with me in the first place. So that again provides more long-term value. Now, the cons. First of all, there's not as many products to choose from. If you go into a niche, you really can't sell that many products, right? Because as a niche gets more and more niche, there's definitely less demand for other products. And you're gonna see that when I show you my product research video tomorrow. But when you do go down that little funnel, down the niche, you're gonna find that more and more products are not in demand, and you're not gonna really be able to sell them, and there's really no point of even putting them on the store, even just to provide more, products and shit. That's one thing. And the last thing is that if your niche does not work, so for example, if I do that camera niche like I was talking about, and nobody ends up buying my product whatsoever, well then now I'm stuck with a niche store built towards cameras, and I haven't really sold anybody on anything. And I can't just make a Matt's camera store into a general store because it's already so niche specific. So it's gonna result in a 360, unlike that general store like I said earlier. But anyway, that does it for the pros and cons. And after all this, guys, as you could have told how much time I've spent talking about the niche store versus how much time I've spent talking about the general store, it's pretty easy to tell that I definitely do favor the niche store. I like to build things that have long-term value. It's what I did on Amazon when I built my brand, so people, trust me, and when they see me on my keywords, they are definitely choosing me over the competitor because, I have several products in that niche, and customers are like, oh, I know that brand, whatever. So same thing with the niche store, guys. When you build that email following, that is what's gonna protect you guys from when the fad fades. You can always, provide new camera equipment because it's always coming out. But with the general store, with your email following, you're gonna have a lot lower conversion rates and being relevant in pop culture or in social media or wherever, well, you're gonna get fucked and you're gonna lose a lot of money and you're gonna lose a lot of time that you invested in that Shopify store, whereas that niche store is gonna protect you with your social media following and the people that really take care of you and who are buying from you every time you release a new product. So guys, remember, don't take the shortcut. Take your time, find your niche, spend your time finding your product. I'll show you how to do it tomorrow. But anyway, guys, thank you so much, Freezies, for watching my video. Thank you for getting it this far. If you did, like the video, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions. I always check the comments and respond to everything myself. So guys, that does it. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the episode 3. When we're going to be finding the product that I'm going to be selling on my Shopify store on my step-by-step series. So definitely stay tuned for that. And if you haven't started watching the series yet, there's going to be an eye right up here to show you guys where you can start watching it and how you can start building a Shopify store to build you, $50 to $100 a day profit as a broke teenager or a broke person or somebody with not a lot of money. Or somebody with a lot of money. It doesn't really matter. It's actually better if you have a lot of money. Anyway, guys, that does it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.